Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to talk about a huge problem with AI coding assistants. I mean, they're amazing at writing code, right? But they can't actually see what they're doing. We're going to dive into a new way to give your AI eyes and hands, really, turning it into a real deal partner for all your dev and testing work. So let's just kick things off with a pretty big question, right? What if your AI, the one you use every day, like Claude or GitHub Copilot, what if it could do more than just spit out code? What if it could actually open up a browser, test that code, see if it works, and just, automate all that tedious stuff for you? Think about it. Right now, there's this huge disconnect. Your AI is basically a brilliant brain in a jar. It can write all this amazing front-end code, but it's completely blind to what happens next. It has no idea how that code actually looks or works in a real browser. It's kind of like writing a movie script but never being able to see the movie. Okay, so how do we fix this? Well, this is where a really powerful tool from Microsoft steps in. It's basically the bridge between that AI brain and the actual live web. Let's get into exactly what it is and how it pulls this off. All right, it's called the Playwright MCP server. And what it does is, well, it's pretty simple, really. It gives your AI a remote control for a web browser, a real one. And get this, it's not just locked into Chrome. We're talking Chromium, Firefox, and WebKit. So you've got full cross-browser powers right out of the box. Okay, so this is the part that I think is really, really clever. The way this thing works, it's not what you'd expect. It's not using some complicated, super flaky computer vision model to look at screenshots and guess where the submit button is. No. The approach here is way smarter and a whole lot more reliable. So instead of looking at pictures of the web page, Playwright MCP plugs directly into the browser's accessibility tree. Now, if you're not familiar with that, it's basically a structured map of the web page. It's the same tech that screen readers use to describe a page to visually impaired users. And what that means is the AI gets a perfect, crystal clear blueprint of the page, all its buttons, links, forms, everything. And this chart just lays it out perfectly. On the left, you've got the old way, right? Using vision models to stare at pixels, which is slow, expensive, and breaks all the time. But on the right, you have the Playwright MCP way. It's all structured data. It's fast, it's lightweight, and it's deterministic. It works the same way every single time. Honestly, the blueprint analogy is spot on. It's the difference between guessing from a photo and having the architect's actual plans. So, okay, this isn't just theory. This is where the rubber meets the road. This thing has real-world uses that are just unbelievably simple to get going. Let's actually walk through an example and see how you can automate a super annoying task with literally one command. I'm not kidding. Look at this. For a lot of AI coding tools like Claude Code, this is it. That's the command. You run that one line in your terminal and boom, the server's installed and your AI assistant now has a new superpower. No crazy config files, no API keys to juggle. It just works. So let's take a look at a chore that every developer knows and hates. Post-deployment checks. You push some new code, and now you have to go through a checklist. This developer had an 8-point manual checklist they had to do after every single deploy. You know the drill. It's boring, it's repetitive, and you just know you're going to miss something one day. Okay, so now with Playwright MCP installed, they just threw all that manual work out the window. Instead, they just gave this prompt to their AI. Just look at it. It's plain English. Open this URL, check for this thing, then go click all the links and tell me which ones are broken. It's exactly how you'd ask a junior dev to do it. And bam, here's what they got back. The AI did it all. It went to the site, used its new eyes to inspect the page structure, found the schema markup, and then it went and clicked every single link to check the status code. And then it spits out this perfect, simple report. That entire tedious checklist, just gone, automated. And look, checking for broken links is just scratching the surface. This little server gives your AI a toolbox with over 25 different tools. I mean, pretty much anything you can do in a browser, it can now do. So let's peek inside that toolbox, but also let's talk about a few things you need to watch out for. So here's a little taste of what you get. The AI gets this whole suite of actions. Of course, you have the basics, right? Navigate to a page, click a button, but you also get more powerful stuff, like filling out entire forms at once. And yeah, it can even take a regular old screenshot for those times you just need to see what the page looks like. Now, it's not magic, it's not a silver bullet for everything, so there are a few things to keep in mind. First off, the very first time you run it, the browser launch can take a few seconds. Also, remember how it uses the accessibility tree? Well, if you have some weird custom element, like a canvas widget that doesn't have proper accessibility info, the AI won't be able to see it. And finally, it's designed to work with one tab at a time.
Okay, everyone listen up, because this next part is maybe the most important thing you need to remember. This is a direct quote from the official docs. Playwright MCP is not a security boundary. You absolutely have to take this seriously.
So what does that actually mean? It means you should not use this to browse sketchy, untrusted websites, especially if you're logged into your email or your bank in another tab. A malicious website could potentially tell the browser to mess with your other tabs. The bottom line is, for any real work, use a separate, clean browser profile, one with no logins, no stored cookies. That's how you keep your data safe.
So when you boil it all down, who is this really for? Well, it's an absolute game changer for front-end devs doing those post-deploy smoke tests. It's amazing for QA engineers who need to quickly reproduce a bug, heck, even bloggers who just want to check their site. Really, it's for anyone who's sick and tired of doing the same boring, repetitive tasks in a browser over and over again.
Look, this tech is a huge leap forward. It takes your AI assistant from being just a code generator and turns it into a real partner. An active partner in your workflow that can't just write the code, but can actually go out and test it in the wild. So that really only leaves one question, doesn't it? What's the first repetitive, annoying browser task that you're going to automate?